everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. This is the DME pod where we have conversations that heal. And if this is your first time listening to us, don't forget to like, share, follow on every platform that you listen to podcasts. Today's episode is quite interesting. We really are going to be talking about single parenthood, what it's like in Nigeria, in Africa, just generally the misconceptions and how it does affect the mental health of people who are single parents. And with me today on the podcast, we have Sandra Mohammed. She's a business development manager at Ndidi, a clinical psychology practice and psychotherapy practice. She's originally from Katsina and Bayelsa. She was raised by a single mother in Bayelsa and moved to Lagos in 2016. As a single mom to a 4-year-old son, she balances her personal and professional life with dedication. Her role at Ndidi focuses on expanding services and ensuring accessible mental health support for all. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me on this amazing podcast. I'm happy to be here to share my experience as a mom. Yes, it's an achievement. Yes, thank you very much.
It's beautiful to see somebody who sees it as an achievement to actually put herself into raising someone. And I can attest, I think I know your son by proxy and I know him in various meetings that he has joined.
Yeah.
He's quite a lovely soul. And I know that he has not, let me not say I know well because we have had conversations prior to this, what single motherhood, single parenthood has been like. What really is it about single parenthood?
Being a single parent in Nigeria, it has its ups and downs, especially in this our generation. We are millennials, not Gen Zs. I think a Gen Z should have been here so that we had their own perspective, probably. It's much better now. The challenges most time, like when I had my son, I had to start minding, like wanting to do things by myself, and now coming to the realization that I'm going to be a mom that I didn't plan to be like, and it was hard doing things myself, and like my bio said, I was also raised by a single mom, and although our times are different, so I knew she had challenges in her time, and I never wanted to, but it happened. And I stood up to that challenge to like, okay, I'm going to do this. It's not like I knew I had a well thought out plan or...
It wasn't intentional.
It wasn't at all. It was a story of, I must marry right. Go for prayer sessions, prayer meetings. I must marry right, have a complete family, have a father present, because I never had a dad, and that affected me somehow when I was also growing up. So I didn't want that. I never wished that for anybody.
Yeah.
Not to talk of myself or my unborn kids then. So having my son was now like, there was panic. There was a lot of panic. And I remember one time when I had my child in the hospital, I was not like, how am I going to cope? Will I turn to those Instagram beggars? You go on Instagram, you see some people begging like, oh, I have a child though. I can't afford Pampers in the comment section. Yes. And if you don't believe me, call me on video call. Like I panicked. It wasn't like, because like I said, I didn't plan it. So I panicked and I was like, how am I supposed to cope? How was I going to fend? I was barely getting by. So having a child now by myself, how was I going to do it? It wasn't easy, but with time and friends, even married people, I had good support system, actually. My boss was amazing, Amanda Ihime. Yeah. She was a good, like, she was there 100%. In fact, I wish everybody could have an amazing boss like that. Even not trying to, like, she was there, she reached out, even gave me 6 months maternity leave, and it was like, ooh, wow. And I asked, because even when my mom came for Mungo, she only stayed 1 month. So I freaked out. I was like, how am I supposed to bathe a baby? My son was so tiny. So I was like, how am I supposed to bathe a baby? But I had to do that myself and ask questions. I had a lot of struggles. I wasn't even lactating when I had my child, so I couldn't breastfeed. So that was also a problem. So the
Stressful.
stress, it was really stressful. I remember if he was crying for milk, breast milk, and I tried to breastfeed him and milk wasn't coming out, the frustration, and I'll start crying too. So my son is crying and I'm also crying. So, but I asked questions. Some people were like, take this, take palm wine, take a lot of hot food, eat a lot of food for the milk to come out, and started using formula. And it wasn't easy at
Yeah.
all. So I'm not going to tell anybody that, it's perfect. You're gonna, not to even forget the sleepless nights. Like,
That's true.
the first one, no, from the newborn to 6 months, just forget night sleep. You're not going to sleep.
At all.
Because once the baby can wake up anytime, 1 a.m. In fact, as you lay the baby down, next 10 minutes, they will still want breast. You wake up and you have to breastfeed them. And you stay up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Then in the morning time, when you wake up, that's when they want to sleep. Then you have to do your other work
do
and
other things.
it wasn't easy at all. I'm not going to lie and give it like tell people that it was easy, it was a beautiful journey and this and I wasn't financially stable then, so it was a whole lot.
Yeah. Just what you said about the fact that it wasn't intentional, I think that's also a very key thing, because I think into single parenthood, there are two sides. With the advent of scientific innovations, there are people who are able to intentionally make such choices.
Yeah.
But I don't think whether you did it intentionally or not, it absorbs you of the challenges that you still face.
True.
So whether you intentionally do artificial insemination or IVF, or you even adopt a child,
Or you're a widow or some
whatever the case is,
whatever the case
there's no shortcut through the journey. It's challenging, it's challenging. And then that even also brings us to the beautiful dynamic to single parenthood, in the sense that it's like a market. There is no exit or entry. Anywhere is door. And what I mean by that is that people arrive at single parenthood via different means.
Yeah.
But there are misconceptions that people have that once they see a single parent, they just seem to be alpha and omega. They know why you are there.
Yeah.
And they just look, and these things are misconceptions. They just see you and they automatically assume that the reason why you are like that is like this.
Yeah.
You must be a certain kind of person to be in this kind of position or have this. So what are the general misconceptions? You had mentioned your mom, right down from her to you. What are the general, and even from friends, what are the general misconceptions you have seen people have about single parenting and their assumption about why a person is a single parent or what it implies?
Oh, we get that a lot. Like, if you don't have that, then that means you're staying in outer space, another word. So most times they tend to say maybe you're wayward. They think that you're wayward, or the reason that you're not married and you have a child was because you were the problem. You were the problem during the relationship. So people tend to think that maybe there's something wrong with you. I just remembered I had someone that was asking me out one time, and he talked to me the way I didn't like, and I spoke back, and I'm very expressive. And he goes like, no wonder your baby daddy did not marry you, because you don't have respect. You don't know that they don't talk back at men and everything. You're supposed to be humble. You're supposed to be soft and everything. Mm-hmm. And this person is triggering you. So because they have this mindset already, so everything you say can be used against you, because you feel like, oh, no wonder you're single. Yeah. So they think maybe something is wrong with your character. You have a character flaw, or maybe you're wayward, or you did something, or maybe you're the one that cheated self. They don't even care. Sometimes when some people say, "Oh, what happened?" I try not to give details to anybody. Yeah. I don't want you to. I don't think just knowing people should just give you right to know what happened, what really happened in my life. So I just say, "Oh, it didn't work out," and they're like, "What happened? We want to know. Tell us in details what happened." And I'm like, no, it just didn't work out. So they just assume that, oh, maybe I was the one that cheated, or I was nagging and the guy couldn't stand it. So it's always, the women are always blamed for it. But most times, when it's, especially the women, but for the men, most times people give them kudos like, oh, well done for being a single dad. I've seen that a lot. So it's harder for the women to be single mom. Yeah.
You know, making it look more like being a father who cares for his children is something worth being given an award for. You know, when everybody really should be responsible for what they are brought to this world.
Exactly. It's to bring a life.
So there's nothing like if you see a lady doing it, it must have been your character. Yeah. It must have been you that could not stay in husband's house. And some parents are, of course, nobody wants, in quotes, the reproach from society. You know, but I think that we all need to do better in our assumption of how you think a person got to a certain place. Even outside, even single parents, some people, when they see people with money, it's just automatic. The person became rich by fraudulent means. You just don't believe that anybody can walk their way to having something.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think we generally have this negative bias where we just automatically think that the negative is the reason why, and not really understand that sometimes some people are single parents because they made a choice in a situation to pick themselves over toxic situations. Yeah, so and I think one other reason misconception people have is that it's in vogue, it's in fashion. You know, people the truth is that yes, a person truly can decide to just have kids on their own. You know, a person can also make the decision to even marry and not still have kids. Yeah, so people have the latitude to make that kind of decision. You know, but to automatically see people and just assume that something has to be wrong with you. You know, for that to have happened, it's really bad. It's very bad. Yes. Because now going to the next thing, there's no way the societal perception of single parents would not invariably still affect the mental health, you know, of the single parent. Because how you're perceived, it's impossible to feel good about yourself if you feel like that everybody that knows you or sees you, they're somehow talking behind. Can't you see him? Can't you see her? She could not stay in husband's house. She could not do this one. You know, so what are the things that this has affected with regards to your mental health, even your social standing, social relationships? You know, how has being a single parent affected your mental health and, of course, your social standing and socialization and social relationships?
It does. Well, for me, I would say I've been lucky. I've been blessed. I've had good support system, and when I had my son, I went through therapy too. After I discovered I had postpartum depression, and I went through therapy, I reached out, I asked for help, where I found
very important.
Yes, I spoke up. I was always because I had too many things going on. Like, it wasn't planned. It wasn't something I wanted, but I knew that I didn't have a choice. So I asked for help. I spoke up, and when people were I remember some people finding out that I was a single mom and coming from a church, a Christian background, and a church girl. I used to be in the choir. I remember a lot of people calling me and telling me how disappointed they were that despite all the teachings, all the upbringing, the Christian value, I decided to take this route to being a mom and everything. And it almost broke me because I felt like I'd failed. I felt like in the sight of God, I had already...
You're less than nothing.
Yeah, yes. So it really affected me. It was one thing that I got disappointed by my son's dad, that I had to face that reality and try to fight that. Then people were already judging me and already condemning me for being a single mom. It affected my self-esteem. Yes. I became so isolated, and it had to take me to go through therapy. I remember talking to my boss, Amanda Hime, and I opened up to her, and she was like, no, you need to go for therapy, and that helped. So I would want to say, if anybody is having difficulty, please seek for counseling or therapy. I also started talking to friends, people that, not just single mom, people that were married too. I started asking them questions, and it helped me to snap out of it. So I went through therapy and got my confidence back, and I knew that people's opinion about me did not matter and would not define who I was or what this thing was. My choice, and I did it, and I have an amazing baby.
Yeah.
And I love him, and I decided to pour all the love I felt I never had, even from not having a dad. I focused it on him, and it's been amazing so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just what you said about seeking help, seeking support, you just realized that, yeah, I think there's an African proverb that says that it takes a whole village to raise
To raise, yes.
person. And then you realize that having to even start that journey on your own, it will take a toll. Particularly when a person now refuses to get help. And, I don't think there's anybody that is against help. It's just that a lot of times people are conscious of what people already think about them. And then who want to help you? I beg to get. So some people are like, no, nobody will help, nobody. But it's always important to reach out for help.
Yes. If not, you're going to suffer a lot. Emotional exhaustion.
Even someone that has a partner self is still suffering.
As in,
you are still suffering, not with the way the economy is and everything, and having to juggle. I think you mentioned that you had 6 months maternity leave.
Yes.
For some people with a 3 months, in most offices it's like 2 or 3 months, or 2 months or so. I'm not even sure what.
Yes, and you have to now look for daycare to
all of that. It's a financial commitment. You don't just drop a baby and say hi, bye.
At all.
You will drop something. So it's that help. A lot of help is needed. And when that is lacking, it can be very overwhelming.
Yes.
And lead to a lot of things. Depression, anxiety, just a lot of strain and stress. Yeah, but I just wanted to touch on this. Do you think that in any way, being a single parent has any effect on the child? In any way, the way people see them, or anything, as a child that had a single parent for a while, before your mom then married, do you think that there was a way that people saw you or talked to you or anything?
Yes, it does. Like I said, my mom was her time. It was tougher than now because people are becoming more aware, self-aware, more enlightened about life. And people are experiencing it more. Just like before. Divorce is frowned at, but now we have I'm not trying to encourage divorce. People now know that they deserve better, that you can walk away. You don't have to stay in a situation where your life is a life or death situation. So people now know better. Same thing too with being single parents. Because I remember then some people were like, oh, you're a bastard. And maybe some people, I have altercation or I'm quarreling with someone. I say, you that is a bastard. I don't even know your father. So they call you all sort of names, and it affected me growing up too. And I wanted to find my father. I needed my father in my life. So there's going to be that void. Yeah. And now when being a single mom, I remember recently, was it 2-3 months ago, there's a security in my area, and he was like, your son is behaving like a girl. That's because he's being raised by a mom, a lady that gotta look for his father now, and it pained me. That wasn't even the first time. I could take my son to a place, and he would be playing, and someone would just get upset that he's playing around and come at me and I bet you're a single mom. Because if he had a dad, he wouldn't be behaving the way he's behaving. And one thing I've learned is I stand up for myself. In situations like that, you talk to me, I will give you back. I will warn you, don't ever try that again. Don't ever try that. He's my child. I want to raise him. There's nothing wrong with my son. So even when that security person made that comment, I called him and I said, see, do not ever, if you're thinking about it, keep it in your thoughts, your head, your opinion. Do not ever say that to me again. I'm raising my child the way I want to, with or without his father. He's healthy, he's smart. But my son, like you said, he's doing very well. Even in school, academically, he's doing very well. Even last term, he got best student, overall best student award. In fact, the teachers had to come to the house to present him his gifts and his certificate. and he's sound and he's very expressive. And I tried also not to badmouth his dad or paint his dad on a bad light. So once in a while, he might say, oh, where's my dad? I'm like, okay, he's not around. Don't worry. When he's ready to see you, he will come. But for now, focus on you. Do very well. You know, you want to buy me and grandma a car and house. Focus on making the money and do well in school. So it might want to be in that way, but I've built myself and read in a lot and followed also single moms and also joined single moms platform, which also was helpful. So look for people around too that have had similar experience and it will help. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just to make that a bigger conversation is, as a single parent, what would you advise other single parents to do that you have found to be really helpful?
Oh, first, ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Like, ask for help. Okay, for me, when I didn't have my mom around, my mom came for Omongo just 1 month and left. So I was doing everything myself. So I looked around and be very careful too with people you have around you, because we have a lot of pedophiles and we have people that don't even know how to care for children. So don't just trust everybody because you need help too. Just be careful about it. So I always ask for help. I ask questions. I ask the right questions. Like I remember when my son was just months old, he was having colic pain. There's what they call colic pain, like the navel and the gas, whatever. I asked. Some people will say give him alcohol as a baby. So I looked it up, and even as a mom, I'm not even supposed to take anything that has alcohol. So why would I give my child alcohol? So also your medical thing, look for medical people that like doctors, people that ask questions that would not, so you don't just take advice from people, anybody. So you don't endanger your child. Also, I joined single moms group. I saw some single moms and like, okay, let's come together. Created a group, a platform where you can share, you can vent if you have concerns. As a first-time single mom, then if I saw rashes on my son's body, I'll freak out. I'll like, oh my God, what is this? So I'll just post it on the platform and they're like, oh, don't worry. It's just rash. It's probably heat or he's reacting to something. So ask questions, look for groups, single mom groups, and be careful with the people you have around you. Anybody that brings negative energy, shut them out. If you can avoid them, please avoid them. And I was lucky to have people that were very supportive, people that were there for me. So just have those kind of people. It can be in your church, place of work, and and also I remember when I started work after my 6 months maternity leave, I was careful with the daycare that I looked for, the creche that I looked for my child. And the first one, they almost killed my son. The first one I took him to, came back one day, my son was almost lifeless. What happened? Said he's been stooling and throwing up the whole day. And I'm supposed to pick him up by 5 p.m. And my son has been stooling, throwing up since morning. Nobody gave me a call. Nobody sent me a text. I came and saw my son almost lifeless. So I immediately rushed him to the hospital. And after then, I did not go back to that creche again. So I took my time and got a better daycare in where I used to live. And the lady was amazing. In fact, and I found out that she was looking forward to having a child. She didn't have children. So she treated every child like they were hers, and it really helped. So also be very careful to wherever you put your child, be in the school environment, pay good attention to. Thank you.
So with regards to self-care, is there anything that you feel like, particularly the parents, because to be able to care for someone, you have to be fine.
Yes.
So I know you have mentioned therapy, asking for help, but were there anything or were there things that kept you going through all of this?
Yes. You make it like in as much as you have to be, once you become a parent, almost
selflessness kicks in.
Yes. Almost 90% of your life is about your child. So there are some time you might want to get some things for yourself. And you think about, okay, let's say something little as pizza. I want to get pizza. I'm like, this can get Pampers for my baby. So I'll deprive myself of that. I'll say, oh, I don't need this and that. But I realized I wasn't taking care of myself. Like, I wasn't even looking. It had to take me to realize that I wasn't taking care of myself, that I saw myself in the mirror and I was looking like an old woman, like I've aged. I was scared of my reflection, my own reflection. So I made conscious efforts, like I had to look for ways to have like do something for myself. So I started creating plans, like make myself intentional, like go out, or maybe in a month I might take myself out to a fine dining, have a nice meal. Even if it's not fine, okay. Maybe I overshot myself there. The fine dining only started when
you are the ambassador for enjoyment.
That
the queen has
it's now.
No,
then when my put me down, no, please. 4 years, CC, come and look for me.
You have Sandra's number. You see her status.
Yes,
you'll be thinking about your life.
No, it's now. Then it was Chicken Republic, at least. Chicken Republic, refill was 900. So I would take myself out and I would do stuff, and I also tried dressing well. Although I was breastfeeding, and even after the breastfeeding process, I had to start dressing fine, taking care of myself, go out, swim, do stuff. So just plan, like take yourself out. You can, and also look for, like, if you have good neighbors that have kids and you know that their character too is this, you can leave your child maybe for
let them learn community.
Yes,
leave it.
yes. So you can, or if you have a friend that you can trust, leave your child. Go out. So I devoted almost 3 years of my life raising my child. I was intentional about it. I wanted to heal. I wanted to get into become a pro in being a mom first before I put myself out there.
Yeah.
So all those fine dining started happening when I started putting myself out there. So thank you very much.
That's great. It's been a really interesting conversation. And if there's anything that to take away from me, for me, is the fact that assumptions are really not good.
At all.
We see things and there's just that automatic, I know why you're there. It's your character, you say you can't keep. So then there are different things. I think if there's anything that we take away from this, is that we learn to be nicer to ourselves. Learn to understand that people need support. People are in different situations for different reasons. And of course, with our support, we really can help a person through whatever it is that they are going through. So Sandra, thank you so much, so much. Really great having you here.
Thank you
for sharing your story. I know it was no mean feat. We really appreciate the fact that you took the time to really tell us and shed more light on this. So thank you for listening to us thus far. Of course, like I said, like, share, follow on all platforms. Is there anything that you feel you want the next guest to answer? Just any question. Don't punish them.
What would it be?
Anything. It can be mental health related that you really want them to just, we're past it's a button. So they will also leave for someone else.
Okay. What are the common misconceptions people have about you? Yes.
Okay, so it's more or less like a get to know me question.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, and bye.
Bye.